Imagine you're spending $2,000 every single month on life essentials, for example, grocery shopping, travel, entertainment, or dining. Without credit card rewards or cashback, those $2,000 are basically just money thrown away and you'll never see it again. But if you start optimizing those $2,000, and even if you're just getting 1% of cashback every year, that's $240 every single year. However, if you're just getting 1%, that's actually pretty conservative, because if you're smart about your spending, if you're smart about optimizations, those $240 can easily turn into double or triple their value. Also, if you're smart about redeeming those points, this can turn into a free weekend getaway or even a full week of vacation for you. If you're someone that has heard about reward travel, you see your friends doing it, you see people around you doing it, but you have no idea where to start, this video is exactly for you. Because I realized that my own friends, they don't know how to do this. So I'm here to explain it step by step for you to get started with your credit rewards journey. I know this can be a lot of information today. So if at any point you have questions or there's something that's not really clear for you, leave a question in the comments below and I'll address it later on. But now let's dive into the $2,000 example a little bit more so you understand how you can do this. So if you spend $2,000 every single month, you could spend $500 on groceries, $300 on dining, $250 on transportation, $300 on travel, $250 on entertainment, $200 on personal care, and $200 on shopping. Now let's see what those expenses could turn into from a points perspective. $500 on grocery shopping could turn into 2,500 points, dining could turn into 900 points, transportation could turn into 750 points, travel could turn into 900 points, entertainment could turn into 500 points, personal care could turn into 1,000 points or even more, and shopping could turn into 400 points as well. As you can see, I multiplied all the expenses that we had with a certain point system. For example, groceries will earn you 5 points per dollar, travel will earn you 3 points per dollar. That's the rewards that credit card companies offer you. And for different credit cards, you have different reward structures. With this example and that spend, you would earn around 7,000 points every single month. And if you keep the spending the same for the whole year, those 7,000 points can turn into 84,000 points, which is a lot. Now, if you wanted to turn those 84,000 points into direct cashback, you could do that at a rate of 1 point for 1 cent, which would lead you to $840 in cashback. But if you spent those 84,000 points wisely, you could easily turn them into either a luxury weekend getaway or even a full week of vacation if you're on a budget. And imagine how this can transform your life later on. You're earning a certain amount of money now, you're spending a certain amount of money now, but in 5 years, you're probably earning more and you're also spending more, which means you're also earning more points in a result, and it leads to more free travel. Another tip here, if you're smart about this, you can even pay your rent with your credit card. I filmed a video on this before, I'll link it in the description box below. And with this example, I want to officially welcome you to the world of optimizing your credit card spending. I hope this example convinced you to keep watching this video, because doing this is not rocket science. In fact, it's actually pretty simple and anyone can do this. So if you're thinking, oh, this sounds great, Maria, but I don't know if I can do this, yes, you can. Stay tuned to find out how. First of all, let's talk about the difference of points, miles, and cashback, because those are terms that you will hear all the time. Cashback is exactly what it sounds like. You earn a certain amount of money back for the money that you spend. For example, if your card offers 2% cashback, if you spend $200, you actually get $4 in return. Then we have miles and points. They're essentially the same, but miles are more common when you have a travel credit card. For example, if an airline gives you a travel card, they often call it miles, while points are more used by everyday cards. The next thing you want to do is understand which card works best for your needs. I hinted about this in this video before, but there's different credit cards that offer you different rewards. For example, there's everyday purchasing cards, there's travel credit cards, there's store credit cards, or certain categories. Each of those credit cards offers you a different reward structure, and often it makes sense to have multiple credit cards to cover all of your bases. If you're curious about my credit card strategy in depth with a table of how I'm optimizing every single category in my life, I filmed a video about this and also wrote a detailed blog post about it, so if you're curious, check that out. If you're new to this credit card journey, I always recommend people to get 2 cards. 1, an everyday purchasing card, and 2, a travel credit card. Now there's different providers that you can go with. There's 2 cards from Chase, Citi, Amex, Capital One, all of the credit card companies that I can recommend, and I'll link them in the description box below so you can pick whatever works best for you. But know that all of those cards are essentially doing the same and they're just optimizing things in a different way. In my own experience, I had 2 Chase cards initially. First one was the Chase Freedom Unlimited, and then I got a Chase Sapphire card. If you look at all the credit cards that are linked below, you will see that some of those credit cards have a pretty pricey annual fee. But often it makes sense to pay this fee because you get something back in return. Let's dive into one example, which is the Chase Sapphire Preferred, which is a pretty standard travel credit card for people that just get started. This card has an annual fee of $95, but you get $50 back in travel credit when you spend this card on travel. So this brings the card down to $45 already. Then, as I said before, you're earning points on this card. Often this card also offers you an intro offer. This means you can earn, for example, 60,000 points when you spend $4,000 on this card in the first 3 months. And those 60,000 points can actually turn into a lot of money. For the Chase Sapphire Preferred, for example, those 60,000 points can turn into $750 that you can redeem on travel purchases in their portal. So even if you see a high annual fee, it often makes sense to get this card and you earn more in return. So don't shy away from those cards just because they have an annual fee. And if you have any specific question about any card, please ask me in the comments below. I'm really here to help you and I want to help you get the right cards that are good for you. I listed some more of those cards in depth with a review on my blog, so if you're curious, check that out. Next step for you is optimizing your credit card spending. Once you have the right card set up, you want to understand how to put money strategically on each card. As mentioned earlier, every single card has a different reward structure, so you can earn different points for different purchases. And often credit card companies give you bonus points. For example, one thing that most people don't know about the Chase Freedom Unlimited is that you can earn a ton of bonus points if you shop through the online portal. In my own experience, whenever I buy skincare, I often get 5 to 10 points per dollar because Sephora or Derm Store is often part of their program on the online portal. However, one thing to mention here is no spend is worth spending just for the points. Like if you think you can't afford this, don't spend the money on it just to earn the points for free travel because it's not worth it. The next important thing that you want to do is understanding how to redeem your points in the right way. Now this is something that most people struggle with initially when they get their travel cards because you have those online portals. For example, Chase gives you the Chase Ultimate Rewards program, and it's easy for you to book a hotel there and just spend your points as a dollar value. However, that's often not the right thing to do. Because on those portals, like with the Chase Sapphire Preferred, for example, you got 1.25 cents per dollar. I, however, can optimize this even to 4 cents per dollar, which is basically 3 times the value that you would get otherwise. The secret to doing this is transferring your points to travel partners. Most of the big credit card companies have travel partners, for example, hotels or airlines that you can transfer your points to. And often you get much better deals when you do that. For this, I want to walk you through an example of my own life because I spent 10 days in Argentina recently and I paid for the whole trip with my points. The first thing that I did was I transferred my points to American Airlines and I flew business class nonstop from New York to Buenos Aires. Normally, that ticket would cost $3,500 one way, so $7,000 round trip. Instead, I found a really good deal on American Airlines after I checked their website quite frequently, where I only had to pay 50,000 points one way for a business class flight. And this is a really good deal and was totally worth it for me. So I transferred 100,000 points to American Airlines to pay for those flights. I think when I checked that flight, economy was about 25,000 points, so also a really, really good deal. This was the first example, but the second example that I want to show you is a hotel that I booked in Mendoza, Argentina. There's a Park Hyatt in Mendoza, which is a 5-star property, and nightly rates start at $500. I didn't pay those $500 per night, but I transferred my points from Chase to Hyatt because the nightly points rate is only 12,000 points. So as you can see, sometimes you find really, really good deals. You just need to do a little bit of research. But if you're interested in that, my blog is here for you because I'm posting about this all the time. And whenever I find a new deal, I will post about it there. So these are the type of results that you can expect because you just need a little bit of planning and a little bit of knowledge to make this happen. If you still have questions about how to start with your credit card rewards journey, please leave them in the comments below. I'm really here to help. I want to educate people that are not in this area yet. And subscribe to this channel because I'm going to upload more videos on this topic.